Hello everyone. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce you to one of my favorite and most thought-provoking books, The School for Dictators by Ignazio Silone. But before we dive in, let me make you a promise. If you stay with me until the end of this video, you'll not only learn something new but also look at the world around you in a whole new way. This book isn't just a critique of dictatorship, it's a satirical masterpiece that reveals how power works, how it's abused, and most importantly, how people like you and me play a role in making or breaking such systems. So, are you ready? Let's dive into the fascinating world of The School for Dictators. Let's start with the man behind this masterpiece. Ignazio Silone was an Italian writer and political thinker, born in 1900. His real name was Secondino Tranquilli, but he adopted his pen name to distance himself from his political past. Silone lived through one of the most turbulent periods in modern history, a time when fascism, communism, and other totalitarian ideologies were rising across Europe. He saw how these systems manipulated people, twisting ideologies into tools for control and oppression. He was initially a part of the Italian socialist movement but later distanced himself after witnessing the corruption and betrayal within political systems. This personal journey deeply influenced his writing, making him one of the sharpest critics of both fascism and communism. Fun fact, Silone once said, "Liberty is the possibility of doubting, of making a mistake, of searching and experimenting." This sentiment resonates throughout The School for Dictators. Imagine a wealthy businessman, cynical and power-hungry, who dreams of becoming a dictator. To achieve this, he hires a political mentor who teaches him the art of dictatorship. This is the premise of The School for Dictators. But here's the twist, the book is a satire. It's not a guidebook for aspiring dictators, it's a biting critique of how such systems operate and how ordinary people enable them. Through the conversations between the businessman and his mentor, Silone explores the psychological, social, and political mechanisms that sustain dictatorships. One of the key messages? Dictatorships don't exist in a vacuum, they're upheld by the silent acceptance and, sometimes, the active participation of the people. Let's break down the book into its key themes. The origins of dictatorship. Silone delves into how dictatorships emerge, often in times of fear, uncertainty, and social unrest. He explains that a charismatic leader capitalizes on these emotions, offering simple solutions to complex problems. Example, look at the rise of Mussolini in Italy or Hitler in Germany. Both leaders exploited economic crises and social divisions to establish their regimes. The role of ideologies, whether nationalist, religious, or socialist, often serve as a cover for power. Silone critiques how these ideologies are used to justify absolute control, turning them into tools for manipulating the masses. Quote, "When ideology replaces reason, freedom is the first casualty." Tools of control. Silone describes the tools that dictators use to maintain their grip on power: propaganda to shape public opinion, censorship to suppress dissent, fear and violence to ensure obedience. These tools aren't just relics of the past. Even today, we see similar tactics in authoritarian regimes. One of the most fascinating aspects of The School for Dictators is its exploration of human psychology. Why do people support dictators, even when they know the truth? Silone suggests that fear, apathy, and the desire for simplicity play significant roles. People often trade freedom for security, especially in times of crisis. Example, think about how some leaders today gain power by offering quick fixes to complex societal problems. They create an us versus them narrative to rally support. Silone's message is clear: dictators may hold the reins, but it's the people who keep the horse moving. Silone's book was written decades ago, but its lessons are strikingly relevant today. Modern dictatorships may not always look like military regimes. Instead, they manifest in more subtle forms: media manipulation, the rise of echo chambers on social media, leaders using disinformation to maintain control. Example, discuss how algorithms on social media can amplify polarizing content, creating environments where misinformation thrives, and dissent is silenced. What makes this book truly unique is Silone's use of satire. He takes a dark subject and presents it in a way that's both accessible and deeply impactful. His humor doesn't diminish the seriousness of the topic, it amplifies it. By making readers laugh, he forces them to confront uncomfortable truths about power, freedom, and complicity. Quote, "Power is a disease of the imagination, it spreads faster than the truth." To wrap things up, let me share with you some of the most thought-provoking and profound quotes from The School for Dictators by Ignazio Silone. These quotes capture the essence of the book and give us much to reflect upon: how little wisdom rules the world. Ignazio Silone. A large part of political science was created by those who were exiled from their own countries. Ignazio Silone. The conscious acceptance of problems is what has always distinguished humans from domesticated animals, official journalists, parrots, and the like. Ignazio Silone. A dictatorship is a regime where people quote instead of thinking, and everyone quotes from the same book. Ignazio Silone. The threadbare robe, worn daily, is called goodwill, and it's used to justify everything. Ignazio Silone. Time has its own laws. In the worst-case scenario, the choice is still ours. Ignazio Silone. The major weakness of the democratic system in our time is its conservatism. Ignazio Silone. Imagination aligns with one's character. Ignazio Silone. Dictatorship comes from the word dictate, which we learn in school as part of language lessons. The difference is that in the school of dictatorship, there's only one classroom, and spelling mistakes have legal consequences. Ignazio Silone. A decaying ruling class drags its feet, postpones solutions to pressing problems, and always defers action until tomorrow. This delay often means shutting the barn door after the cows have already fled. Ignazio Silone. While society moves forward, those who stand still are doomed. Ignazio Silone. There's a growing trend to glorify the state and nationalize as much of social life as possible, a tendency through which democracy, in trying to expand itself, ends up destroying itself. Ignazio Silone. Those who can't solve their life's problems or fulfill their dreams eventually escape into the realm of fantasy and illusion. Ignazio Silone. An ordinary person rarely stands out because they cannot stop chasing their diverse desires. Ignazio Silone. As long as things are going well, everyone is confident that certain events could never happen in their country. But when the storm arrives, everyone runs away in different directions. Ignazio Silone. A myth is a universal desire manifested in the form of a thing or a person. Ignazio Silone. No propaganda can succeed unless it has some root in reality. Ignazio Silone. The most dangerous superstitions are the ones so normalized and widespread that we fail to recognize them as superstitions at all. Ignazio Silone. In extreme conditions, the human psyche loses its usual balance. The ability for logical reasoning is stripped away, leaving a person oscillating between utter despair and naive optimism, making them easily susceptible to any kind of demagoguery. Ignazio Silone. These quotes offer us a glimpse into Silone's brilliance and his understanding of human nature and political systems. Let me know in the comments which one resonated with you the most, and now let's bring this discussion to a close. So, what's the ultimate lesson of The School for Dictators? Silone teaches us that dictatorships aren't just about one person, they're about systems, ideologies, and the silent complicity of ordinary people. This book isn't just a critique of the past, it's a warning for the future. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about the themes we discussed today? Have you seen examples of these ideas in the modern world? Let's talk in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others who might find it interesting. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.